Hey, everybody, I'm Jody Vance.
And I'm George Affleck.
And boy, do we have a list of things to get to on today's sitcast. It is big news at the federal level. We've got some provincial stuff to talk about. And oh, yes, we will talk municipal as well. Oh, you thought I was going there, but I'm not. This is
UnSpun.
thought I was going to say pool. You thought I was going to. I'm not saying pool.
He just did.
Oh, hi, George.
Jody.
Did you see our prime minister today in the business capital of the world in Manhattan, speaking to business people there at the economic climate in New York?
He's down there poking the beast. And there's the Saab decision about the airplane I thought was interesting this week too. And there seems to be a lot of people saying, you're pushing hard against America here. Like this could have risks as well as rewards.
We're kind of looking at like standing up to the bully as a popular thing though. Like deals are being made. We saw the big LNG deal with Germany. I mean, you called this. You're like, we need to use our natural resources. We've talked about this in every episode of UnSpun, I think.
For 8 years, 9 years.
Right. And he is Prime Minister Mark Carney has said that Canada must become an energy superpower. And he's laid it out. So when people are like, well, what has he done for us then? So he laid it out.
Why aren't those pipelines built yet?
You're right.
I'll tell you why. Because 10 years ago, Gregor Robertson filed lawsuits against the government and pushed through court battles, and now he's the Minister of Housing. But don't get me started.
I mean, I want to get you started. Wind it up. It is funny, though, how the pushback can delay the things that we so sorely need, right? Like we need to have an economy that isn't as reliant on trade with the U.S. as it has traditionally been. So here we are in the reality of 2026. And some of the things that the Prime Minister laid out today, I'm going to just read off the list because I thought it was really interesting. So if you're asking, without spin, 56 critical mineral agreements have been made. The federal government is doubling the electricity grid across the country, increasing uranium production, because that is a vital export for Canada. Lots of, as I mentioned, the LNG deal with Germany, and then so 50 million tons of LNG by the end of the decade. And then you've got Alberta oil, which is ethical oil in the grand scheme of oil. It's still extracting that natural resource. It's going to get some people very upset, but we're diversifying trade. Like we're trading with Asia and we're trading with
Germany. My God, I don't even understand how that thing's getting there. Is it going down through the canal and up again? I assume that's a journey for that ship.
Well, they're talking about a northern port as well, right?
Oh, right. Well, yeah, the actual filling of the thing. But I mean the journey of the actual ship. Obviously, in the future, sadly because of climate change, you'll see a lot of ability to go through the north. But for now, they have to go south. Yeah, no, it's the list is strong. I think that we have to it's obviously going to have lots of challenges, but the federal government has the prerogative. It's good to see at least one of those things the EB is supporting, which is the LNG. So at least we're getting one thing done. But beyond that, it's still, when you see what happened in Alberta, and we'll talk about that, it's, BC's still not behind most of what Carney's talking about and how it relates to British Columbia. So.
Well, and let's talk about our premier, David Eby, sitting down with premiers from across the country. It was a really interesting panel discussion that sort of took an interesting turn, sort of another viral moment for Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew. I just feel like he's so steeped in, I was going to swear hard there, in just not mincing words. Like
given 2F?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So refreshing. I think that's why people appreciate him as much as they do.
Yeah, it reminds me of a bit of Larry Campbell when he was mayor of Vancouver. He didn't get 2 Fs and whatever. Just said what he wanted. The media loved him. And yeah, it's interesting. He went off on a tangent. I mean, obviously he's coming, his perspective is First Nations. He's a First Nations leader, and if, obviously the premier of the province. But he, Danielle Smith was saying in this press conference, we're about the referendum specifically, and he saying it's got to go, it's got to happen, and he's like, hold on, it doesn't have to happen. You have the prerogative as the premier and your government to delay it and wait. And others in the panel were also saying the same sort of thing. Like, let's get these projects up and running, which mostly benefit Alberta, and the opinion might change, and the potential threat of a vote to separate will go away. Right now, it's pretty much, it could be, anything could happen. And I think Eby brought up Brexit as an example. And what did he say? He used the word, he's not paranoid. He said, I'm really, anyways, an unusual word for a politician to use. Anxiety ridden, I think, or something like that. That's an interesting approach, and something for a politician to say is not normal. But yeah, the premier of Manitoba calling her out, saying, First Nation, his angle, of course, saying the First Nations aren't supporting this referendum. They're not supporting separation. They want more consultation. There's been zero consultation so far. You have that ability to do that as the government, and you should. Not to mention the fact that we're working all together here, trying to help all of us, but also probably help Alberta a lot. Why would you put that? It's irresponsible for you for your province in general to put that under threat. I mean, it doesn't, mathematically, the separation of Alberta, it just doesn't make sense.
And it does upend the coming together of all of Canada to try and build that energy superpower and the investments in our country, and we're open for business. All of those really important pieces that our prime minister is circumnavigating the globe, trying to tell people, you can come here, it's stable here, and 800,000 Albertans signing a petition and having the premier sort of going rogue. And I do appreciate how Premier Wab Kinew in the moment, and if you have an opportunity to look up the moment, because it did go viral, if you missed it, you should watch it. I retweeted it, so you can have a look on my Twitter feed if you like as well. But Danielle Smith was like, this is what we're doing, and we have to do consultation, and we're going to go to the Supreme Court, and gonna do. And then she finished, she's like, and that's what we're gonna do. And she was very terse about it. And Wab Kinew was like, can I just chime in here for a real quick sec? Because that's not at all what we discussed, and this is actually what's happening, and here's why. And the way he put it was so succinct.
With his smiling face, which is very...
Right? He's very good at dropping the are you serious right now? Without having...
With a smile on his face.
Yeah, because he's like, no, I don't. I don't.
Here's the challenge in politics is the lag time, right? So she's making decisions on this based on opinions from a year ago now. This movement started over a year ago that got momentum and got to 500,000, whatever votes or whatever petition signed. And so
was it 500?
But so much has happened. Yeah, I think it was 500. Something, obviously a lot has happened in the last 3 months. And it certainly must be changing the opinions in Alberta significantly. So, what's the responsible thing to do? There's been this decision, there is this thing that's this referendum request that has been formalized, and therefore it's my responsibility to do that. Or this happened, which is what he's saying, you just gotta go. The reality now is stuff's happening fast, and we need to focus on that and not focus on something that was really making people mad a year ago. And I think last week I talked about this referendum being kind of a weapon to use, a stick to use to get what they want. And I think he mentioned it, or even the prime minister said you can't govern like that. That's not appropriate. But that's what it is. I mean, you can say you shouldn't do that, and she would say, and the Alberta Premier Danielle Smith would say, I'm not doing that. But of course, that's what this is, and it has actually worked. I mean, they're getting a lot of stuff.
Which is why Premier David Eby got frustrated with the Prime Minister at rewarding bad behavior, because the bad behavior that David Eby is referencing is Danielle Smith going, give me my pipeline.
So what do we
But she
reward
did
David
look
Eby
at
saying,
it.
I don't want pipelines, and he gets rewarded? What's the
I agree.
prequel, you know? Yeah.
I agree, but both things can be true simultaneously, right? Um, and that's where political spin comes into play. But then Premier David Eby was mentioning the things that are happening in BC right now, and the major projects that are underway, and shovels in the ground, and all the terms that we hear all the time, all the spin around it. Like, let's cut another ribbon for the 7,000th time. You know what that reminds me, though? About cutting ribbons 1,000 times. Site C, new name. Site C Dam.
Didn't we talk about, I think maybe was it after? I think it was that afternoon.
That was
wasn't
after
it?
last.
We've
that
actually,
was
I came out and Amanda said, did you hear, guess what the dam's called? And I was like, and I tweeted, John Horgan, dam. I mean, because it I know, I didn't get any pickup on it. I thought that's pretty, even Quinn is like, all right, it's your dad.
I would have been all over that.
I don't know.
Take
Because
Damn.
anybody, we could have named a bridge after him, not the dam he protested. Well, why do we name a pipeline after him next? We'll name a pipeline after David Eby in 10 years. That'll be good. The David Eby pipeline. I look forward to that naming. If the Conservatives are in power, I'm going to lobby for that.
That is
the David
very
Eby Northern
funny.
Pipeline.
It really is true, though. I wasn't living in the upside down when I was like, you're naming it John Horgan?
Sure.
Make it really okay.
I will say, Christy Clark came out and said, paraphrasing, look, I don't think we should, here's a person that changed his mind. And he championed it after he changed his mind.
Did. That's right.
And so as a result, why is it wrong to reward him for doing that? And I thought that's a good argument. That's a pretty argument. Coming from what would be considered the opposition, and clearly in BC, somebody who is, I don't know if she's liberal or conservative anymore, but so I thought that was a good argument.
She kind of might be a federal liberal.
She was always officially, but given where Carney
no,
is
I mean,
right now,
I
sure
think,
she is.
I think especially the brand of liberal that is currently in the Prime Minister's office, if you get my drift, because you're kind of
a blue liberal.
Yeah, it's centrist conservative liberal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wild. I don't know.
Maybe a little far right to the center, but a little further. A little
yeah.
The
best conservative prime minister ever happens to be a liberal. Which,
I would say that you can argue that Paul Martin and John Chrétien were also very blue liberals, especially with Paul Martin in there as finance minister. I worked at CBC when that was happening, and I got laid off because that first round of 30% cut to CBC's budget. And I was like, I got fired or laid off. I was only in that job for a year, laid off, and then hired the next day for a $10,000 increase. So when I was a staffer, and then they eliminated the staff position. I thought this is classic government.
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
Isn't it though? That kind of happened to me at Breakfast Television, except for I turned the offer the next week down.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Yeah.
Morning shows.
They just had to move the money from this bucket to that bucket. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm going to go to Spain. I'm going to go to Spain instead. Which I did. That was 10 years ago. Can you believe that? Wild.
Yeah. Amazing.
Okay, let's bring it back local here. Local. Do you want to start? Let's start with the thing that's happening close to your home and that we had conversations about. And we're talking about the overdose prevention site that was slated to go into Yaletown neighborhood.
Slightly out, yeah. So south,
just
south
outside.
Yes, downtown south, by the Wall
And
Center
then
area.
City Hall said no. City Hall pulled the plug on that. And then the province was like, no, we need that. And now the province is saying, you know what? We're not going to do it.
Yeah, and there was a petition started by the neighborhood that had significant people signed up for it. And there's a protest happening right now. They continue to. I'm trying to find out how many people are there. It's happening at 11 o'clock, and we're recording right now, just after 11. And there's this protest. These people who signed this petition are meant to be there. I chatted with them, and I will say I have connections to some of the people that are supporting this, and to full disclosure, They are.
That's what I said. It is in your neighborhood, so you
Yeah.
keep
Well,
it pretty clear that it.
yeah, totally. So,
Thank you for the disclosure, though.
exactly. So they don't trust the government that they're going to not do this. We don't want another facility anywhere in the neighborhood. You can keep bumping it around a block or two here or there. We've got enough. We've got enough down here. Thank you very much, provincial government. So Terry Young, the minister, MLA from this riding, he's well, obviously worried. Because it doesn't make him look good that he has no, has not. So he's going around calling people or talking to me. Oh, don't worry, I'm going to get it. It's not going to happen. So they've said it's not happening. Nobody believes it. Nobody trusts this government and this riding. And I agree. I agree with them. I don't agree with them. I don't agree that I agree with the trust. That it's not there, and I agree that they shouldn't trust the province. I think that there's this attitude towards most of the neighborhood that, you could, and they also look at the voting patterns, very small turnout, very low turnout in this riding so that's always a good thing for a government to plop things into because they know that people don't show up anyways, sadly.
Do you think they're pressing pause on this because of the FIFA incoming? And they're like, well, we'll talk about this on the other side of, July. What is it? When does FIFA end?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's
July.
Connected. I mean, I think it's just one day of bad news after another for this NDP government. I don't. They're just basically always shoveling themselves out and putting their foot in whatever part of their body. I just don't think they can seem to find a winning formula for anything they're doing these days. And everybody's just but we'll see what happens with conservative leadership because that
couple of wins in there. I mean, the intimate partner violence, the online protection for young people. I think there's some really important pieces of governing that
it's pretty niche stuff though.
Well, but no, and I granted, I'll totally give you that note, but to just say all of it is bad is like,
well, I'm biased.
Fair. Let's then go to municipal, because we're kind of in the province, but I guess this is sort of both things. This is the world's worst setup because you're hearing all of the complaints about the money being spent both at the provincial level, federal level, provincial level, and municipal level when it comes to the FIFA World Cup, right? Like I've stated numerous times, my full disclosure is I'm a huge sports fan, right? Like I love the idea of having a major event be showcased in our city. Do I want the taxpayer spend that we're seeing happen with this, the biggest event that happens on the planet? It is worrisome. But at the same time, there are benefits, right? Like there's the upside of it. Like people are really hardcore complaining right now. Like the top news story today is about the cost of tickets.
It's so much like the Olympics at this stage, right? And they're 2 weeks out and we're just getting all the whining. We made a commitment. I think it was not a smart move financially. I don't think it's the right time. You look at the deficits, you look at what's the ROI on this. Does Vancouver need more, promotions that you see now, and the negative as far as hitting us negatively on the hotel side as opposed to as a winning thing. So
no
but we're in it.
No conventions at all.
I know,
because
for a whole summer. So we're in it to win it now, though. You got to embrace and you got to do what you got to do. And we don't want
City Hall.
Yeah, it's a good deal of that stuff. It's a party. Come on, it's like not having the punch bowl and the cups at what. If you're in, you got to do it. You got to do it right. And the thing around the science world looks super cool.
That science world stuff is very cool. I also love the P&E fan zone.
It's amazing. I mean, that space, right? Overpriced.
I'm away for the opening of that. I would love to see Jan Arden there. Yeah, Jan Arden's opening up the first the first concert at that. What's it called? The P&E what?
Oh God, isn't it still? And
we don't know.
Who's the sponsor? We'll get them on as our sponsor.
Yeah, we should.
Is it TELUS? Is it? Oh my God.
Well, you just gave it to TELUS right there.
There we go. Sold. I'll let Shelley, the CEO, know that I sold her
Yeah.
sponsorship rights.
Come on
why
here
our-
and sponsor our podcast. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Anyway,
Well,
but
I'll be
okay,
attending
so
one of the events, and so I'm not a hypocrite. I do think you got to embrace it once it's here, and we want to. And you see the cleanup of the city. So nice to see. There's guys. I was out last night. Went to see Joe Jackson play at the Vogue, and Amanda and I went there. And I'm from the '70s. New wave. So Amanda got me these tickets for Christmas. She didn't know who the hell Joe. She younger than me. She's like, who's Joe Jackson? The guy, Michael Jackson's dad. I'm like, no, he's anyways. So anyways, it was a really good concert. But we walked there from it's like 5 blocks from where I live, and there was like cleaning people everywhere. A beautiful thing. And that's because of this. And I'm like, keep it up, guys, keep it up. Like, awesome. And so that's costing us, but it's also, we need a lot of cameras here. We want to make our city look nice. We want, and that, seriously, that shot of the Science World and even City Hall, that's going to be projected around the world over and over and over and over again in every single country. Like, it's just going to be, those are the shots they're going to have. They're going to have Science World, and they're going to have the City Hall, and they're going to have the P&E grounds. Those are the shots, and the mountains in the background. Imagine, if you haven't seen this place, the P&E, this new space, the backdrop, it's like Bard on the Beach, but on steroids, right? The backdrop is this mountains. It's amazing. It's like, and Bard on the Beach should move there, do their show there for the summer, because it's built for them, like perfect venue for them, but too big probably.
And I love the fact that the echo effect of needing everything to be tidied up and cleaned up, and the humanity piece aside, just the actual physical cleaning of the graffiti, the actual, restoring Vancouver to what it once looked like before it, suffered through pandemic and economic struggles. But I remember asking you, like, why with
Budget cuts.
The millions and millions and millions of dollars that taxpayers in Vancouver pay.
Billions. Mm-hmm.
Billions. There you go. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we clean up? Like, why can't we clean up the graffiti? Why can't we make it? Like, why can't we do what we're now seeing happen?
Yeah.
The reason I want to say excuse, the excuse that I've been given time and again is, well, it's a staff job. It's a union job. So you can't, because I'm like, why can't we all just roll up our sleeves as citizens? Give us the green paint that's on the telephone poles, and we can clean, we can start little groups and make it a community activity to restore. No, that takes jobs away. Well, how can we suddenly have all the people to do it? Like, they're not. So
some of them are, there are, BIAs do some of it. They get paid to manage teams that are non-unionized, and they have street workers, like street teams, or whether they're, it's called a cleaning street team or something. And they're paid a minimal kind of wage. Then it's a job make work project. So they do some of that on a regular basis but you're right. If you were to bring a bunch of people together every Saturday, you'd probably get in trouble to clean up your street. There'd be, but it's happening now because we have a big event coming. We want the city to look pretty. You don't want to be embarrassed. That's the price you pay. It's the one thing that I go, I'll sign off for that.
I want to see this type of restoration to this city be the legacy of this big event. Because if we can do it because the world's coming, we can do it when we're just living here.
You think?
If we haven't figured out how to do it, we need to strip this budget down so that is our first priority until we get the basic things done. Then we move out from there. It's like
you've got the math now. How much does it cost to keep it clean downtown? Now, take that micro budget, multiply it by the number of months in a year or whatever that you're missing. That's your budget. And that's your bottom line. To start there, this is what's going to keep the city clean. This much money.
Right. It's going to take this much money to get it to here and this much money to maintain it. Yeah. Right? Because there's going to be, we're going to have a jumping off point here because it's going to be as clean as it's been in a decade. Starting now. Let's maintain it. Let's make it a priority to maintain it.
Why are you still logical today? What is
I don't
happening?
know. I don't know, George. Two things I want to say that are sort of apropos of nothing. Number one, I don't know if you're watching. You're not watching, but the IIHF World's Hockey Today,
Yes.
just before I
It's
started,
amazing. I can't believe
Team
that the
Canada
Canucks. Oh,
ousted the
oh,
U.S. in the
oh,
semifinal, going to the final. Canada's going to the final. U.S. Audi can play for bronze.
go Canada.
Yes, loved it. Loved that. And Stephen Colbert's last show, right? That was last week
Terrible
after
though.
we.
Did you watch it?
I
Meh.
did watch it. I
Meh.
did watch it.
It was
He did
weird.
it for himself. It was odd and different and so very Stephen Colbert, and he could do whatever he wants. I love that guy.
And now he's
6.7
now he's
million
doing
people what?
now he's doing
Six
that
point-
community television.
6.7 million viewers for that final Colbert show. And then the guy that purchased that time slot moving forward is Byron Allen. You familiar with Byron Allen?
Oh yeah, been
And
around
he's
since I was a
got his
kid.
show. Yes. So he's got a show called Comics Unleashed that now
Yes.
airs where late night used to. And the numbers are in for his first show, 995,000 people.
Yeah.
CBS.
But I wonder, yeah. I bet, that production costs zero compared to what Stephen Colbert had. And CBS has no risk. They're just selling the time slot for a couple $100,000 or whatever. And then he makes whatever he makes with the ads. It's very, CKNW does that in the weekends, right? They have those shows that are private and they just churn them out and they charge a fee and use these time slots. And it's tough going, man. You got to have a team of salespeople versus a team of writers and comedians. Because those panel shows, you look at you can watch all these shows. There are all these panel shows right now. It's just driving me crazy. They're like always, there's like, and it's because it's so cheap. It's cheap TV.
Yeah, I agree. But both of us are very good panelists, so we'll just keep that door open.
Yeah, we don't get paid. We do it for free.
That's true. We do it for free. We'll just show up and talk about it. Quickly now, we've only got like 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes left in this fastest 30 minutes in podcasting. In the U.S., what do you see what we're at right now with regard to a UFC fight going to happen in front of the White House?
It's hilarious.
In a war with Iran still, it's $5 a gallon gas in the U.S. It feels so crazy, and yet in Texas, one of the most criminal-like Senate hopefuls, wins the nomination for the Republican side. Like, clearly, Donald Trump still has a firm grasp on red states anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think people always underestimate Donald Trump. And I've said that people think that it's going to be a cakewalk for Democrats this fall. I wouldn't agree with that. The amount of gerrymandering. I just think in politics, it's all about momentum and the way he's able to, if you've got your strong base, who's Democrats' base? Who are they speaking to? Who's their leader? How do you even define what they stand for? It's so nebulous down there for the Democrats that, it's still tough. It's at the end of the day, people will show up at those polls, and if the spin, as that's what we talk about here, is better on the Trump side, people will probably fall for it. And you look at the Hispanic vote in Mexico that was really high they're not moving over to the Democrats. They're not.
But if they don't show up for the Republican side because they are so put off by the immigration enforcement and the detention centers and people being fearful to even just go and do their jobs, and just profiling, if they don't show up for Trump, it does go Democrat because it was that close. So it's going to
be yeah, and it usually does anyway. But it won't be it won't be this massive sweep.
No.
At least here in Vancouver, just take off the stress of life and all the politics and all those things. Jody, you can always go for a swim at Kit's pool.
It's dry, George. It's empty. I go down there every day. Actually, I'm going to go down there today and I'll post all the people working so hard to get that beautiful, iconic community amenity open weeks after it's supposed to. Like, it's unbelievable. Have you seen the beautiful batch, the place you go down, you listen to music, you have a beverage, that pristine view that you were talking about that you can see from the P&E, also available from beautiful Kitsilano Beach? My friend took a picture of herself. Look at me, enjoying my thing. And right in behind her is the most ugly, empty.
Sad.
It's making me open the pool. Fix the pool, open the pool. I don't
Gi-
need to
give me
know
some
if the pool's
caulking.
going to be here for 75 years. We're going into it
I'll get my
El Nino.
caulking gun and I'll get in it and I'll fix it. And I'll hose.
Fix it. If we can have
Probably
an
that
AI
easy.
data center downtown, we can use water in the pool even if it's leaky. Open the pool.
Yeah.
Open the
It's ridiculous.
pool. Open the pool. Thank
What-
you for that, George.
Yeah, I had to go there for you. Well, you can go to Second Beach for a swim now, I suppose. A bit farther bike ride.
Hush
but-
your mouth. Hush your bike ride.
Or Burnaby has a wonderful pool.
I can go
Many
swimming
of
for
them.
free in Port Coquitlam. It's wide open.
There
No
you go.
reservations
There you go.
required.
Good job,
So-
Vancouver.
This is Unspun Podcast on sitkamedia.ca. Go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe because that helps the algorithm. Follow along sitkamedia.ca on all of your socials. Shout out to Jared, who's working really hard, and Lita and the crew. But you can also follow us on social media. And the best handle in all of Twitterland is yours, George
Unschool.
Affleck, George _Affleck on Twitter. Everywhere else, you're just George Affleck. But I love the underscore. And I can be found at Jody Vance. That's Jody with a Y, at Jody Vance. So again, follow along, like and subscribe. Give us your comments. Give us your questions. We're here every Thursday, except for the next couple of weeks because I'm going away.
What?
Sorry. It's my turn.
I'll do Unspun by myself, staring at my picture behind you. It's like,
If
what do you
something
think?
big is
What do
going,
you think?
what do you? Why am I getting a chance to speak? Is what you'd probably say. Yeah. So 2 weeks from now, I'll be back.
I wouldn't have anybody get me going. I say you get me going.
Keep your eye on the pool for me, George. Peace out.
It's out.